Hello, this is Kieran from Server.pro, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to use these two plugins, Item Join and Chess Commands, to create a compass so that you can switch between your servers within your Bungeecord network. So you will need a Bungeecord network set up for this, and we do have a tutorial on it, and I'll add an annotation on the screen now, so go watch that tutorial if you haven't got this set up already. But once you have, come back to this video and we can continue with this tutorial. So let's get straight into it. So to begin setting this compass up, you'll need to head to your lobby server on the control panel and then go to the plugins tab on the left hand side. Under the bucket plugins tab, search for Chess Commands GUI and then click install latest. Then under the spigot plugins tab, search for Item Join and then click install latest and then restart your server. So once you've restarted your server and installed the plugins, we can go ahead and start configuring them. So if you go to the file manager and then the plugins folder, so here we can start configuring them. And let me just say beforehand, we're not going to go into these plugins in depth through all the settings, as we're only going through on how to set them up for the compass navigation system. So the first plugin that we're going to edit is Item Join, and Item Join is physically responsible for the compass item itself. So when a player joins a server, the Item Join plugin will give them this compass, and then you'll be able to configure the compass so that it runs a command which opens a chest which the other plugin Chess Commands. So it doesn't really make much sense now, but it will make sense as we go on. So if you open the items.yml file, and then I've made a configuration file for us to use. So if you go to this link in the description and then go down to raw paste data, select all of this text with Control A or Command A if you're on a Mac, and then right click and copy. And then go back to configuration file and Control A and paste it. So here I've actually removed loads of stuff that we don't need, and I've only included the things that we do need. So it's at the very bottom here. If you scroll right to the bottom of the file, under this items section here, I've added the compass already for us. So you don't actually need to change anything. You can just copy this straight in and then go ahead and set up the chess commands as well, and you're ready to go. But I'm just going to go through on how this works. So here you have the name of the item. You can change this to anything. This is just for reference in the configuration file. And then next is the ID. So this is the physical ID for the item. So it doesn't actually have to be a compass. If you wanted it to be a piece of wood or a stick, you literally just put stick. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it as compass, as I want it to be a compass. The slot, that's just a slot which appears in the inventory. So when they first join the server, this will appear in the very first box, which is classed as 0. After that, there's the name of the item. So when you hover over the item, this is the name that the item will be given, which is compass navigation, in the colour &B, which I believe is a light blue. And then below that is data value, which you don't need to edit. Count, again, you don't need to edit. Commands, so this is the command it will run when you open the compass. So it will open chess commands, open compass, and then a player name. So it will open the chess command with this player, so that they can choose which server they want to join. And then once you've done that, you can change the permission node to whatever you want it to be. So say you want it to say if you're using stick, you might want to change it to stick, but I'm just going to leave it as compass. So once you've copied this configuration into here and made all the changes that you want to make, click save, and then we can go ahead and edit the chess commands plugin. So if you go back to plugins and then open chess commands and then open menu and then click new file, and then we're going to name this compass.yml, and then click OK, and then open it, and then go to the chess commands link that I have in the description for pastebin, and scroll down to raw data again, and Control A or Command A if you're on a Mac, and copy it, and then go back to here and paste it in. So here again, I've took out all the things that we don't need, so we only have the things that we do need. So if we scroll up to the top, you can change the name of the chest when it opens to whatever you wanted it to be. I've just called it compass navigation, and you can change how many rows are in the chest. So I only want 3, so I've just got it as 3. You could change this to 1 if you only wanted 1 row, 2, 3, or whatever number you wanted it to be. And then below that, you don't really need to concern yourself with any other things apart from open action. If you just delete these, as you don't really need these, as it puts a message into the chat, you don't really need that. So once you've done that, you can scroll down and then change this to whatever you wanted it to be. So I've got a faction server, so I've called the first item faction, and then the command that this runs, when we click on this item, it will run server factions. So it will run the command server factions, and it will take that player to the factions server. And then below that is the name of the item. So here I've got the name of the item as teleport to our factions server. And then below that is the item that we're going to be using this as. So in this case it's a diamond. So in the chest it will appear as a diamond. It will display this name above it, and then when you click on it, it will send the command server factions. So the player will be teleported to the factions server. And then below this you've got the position that the item is placed in the chest. So here I've got the item placed 3 across, as X is along, and then Y is down and up. So I've got it placed in the second row, so it's nice and even. So below this I've got another server, so I've added my lobby server, as I don't have any other servers on the network. But if you did, you could feel free to name it to whatever you wanted it to be. So again, I've got changing it to server lobby, teleport to our lobby server, and the item ID is an iron ingot. And then the position again can't be the same as the previous one, as you can't have 2 items in the same location. So this one is evenly spread out on the right hand side in 7 and 2. So, and then again, if you have another server, you just simply copy one of these, paste them below, and then you change it to whatever you want it to be. So say you had a survival server, you'd add survival, and then change server to survival, and then change the name to whatever you want it to be. So I'm just going to follow the previous layout that I've been going with, teleport to our survival server. And then I'm going to change the item ID to, let's change it to a piece of wood. And then we're going to change the position again, as it can't be in the same position as the previous one. So let's change it to somewhere in the middle, which is 5. And then again on the second row. So if we click save and then restart the server, when we join now, it should hopefully show us everything that we've configured. So let's go ahead and join the server. So once you join your server, you should have the compass in your hand that should automatically be given to you, and you can see the name of it is compass navigation. So if you open our inventory, you can see here it's called compass navigation, as that's what we named it in item join. So then if we exit our inventory and we right click to open the command for chest commands, so you can see here it said opening the menu compass.yml, which it says behind the inventory, which is meaning it's run the command successfully and it's working. So you can see here are the items that we've set up. Teleport to faction server, teleport to survival server, and lobby server. So it's worked. So if we click this diamond now, it will take us to our faction server. So it's really that simple to set up. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact our support, and feel free to suggest anything else down below, and we'll definitely take a look at any suggestions for future videos. So thank you for watching, have a great day, and goodbye.